Hello there, and as usual, I'm Aaron from Laststandgamers, and welcome. So today we're taking a look at a really interesting ship from the Steam Workshop. This is in fact something quite different from what we usually look at. This is actually a salvage vessel created by Aegis and the Beef Burger. Now, I have to say, this ship is very unique in design. It's got a lot of cool factors going on for it. So we're going to do the usual, take an exterior tour, have a look at all the detailing, and then we'll pop inside and have a look what the interior offers as well. So let's start at the front of the ship. So coming to the front of the ship, you'll notice in the detailing in this section. Now this is actually the mouth of the vessel, and if I just dip my camera through the blast doors, you can see there is a massive mouth of grinders that slowly thin a ship down. Of course, the mouth is still quite small, so you could feed it smaller vessels or maybe cut blocks up and push them into it. But as we have a look around, we've got a lot of thrust here. We've got a combination of both hydrogen and ion thrusters, and taking a look at the hydrogen thrusters, I'm not too sure if it would be possible for to get this thing within an atmosphere. It just might be a little bit too heavy. Well, let's have a look around the side. So we've got the two housings here. We've got one for the large hydrogen thruster and one for the ion thruster around the side. There's a use of some of the top parts of the piston on some blast bore blocks to create some detailing. Up in this area, we've also got ourselves the laser antenna, some detailing being created by ladders. I'll just turn the light on here. You can see some recesses, and we've got that quite dominant yellow, black, and grey colour scheme. There's like a very light coloured grey in here I quite like as well. So working our way around the ship, we'll go around this side since it's a little bit lighter since the sun is kind of having a look at it. We've got another opening. Now, if we take a look inside here, we actually have hangars. Now, my recommendation for these sort of hangars would be, of course, to have their grinding ships inside them so they can go out, launch. You could even have grinding drones, I guess, and then salvage and feed this ship back through the mouth. So you can see we've got underneath here. So the underneath is a little bit different. We've actually got like a little operations bay, sort of lounge down here in the center, and we've got the hydrogen tanks exposed in a lovely red color with some rotor struts to the side of them. Now there is some basic ship defenses aboard this. We've got some Gatling guns in this area. You can see there's also oxygen tanks connecting them up, and there isn't a whole variety of defenses, and the meaning for this is it's a salvage ship. It's not going to be going up against much more probably than a few pirates or some people who are trying to rob the place from precious metals. Now, as we come down to the center of the ship, we've actually got ourselves these airlocks on either side. So a lot of people build airlocks with a standard configuration that fits to all their stations and other ships. Of course, it's not necessarily universal, but we have got connectors and merge blocks here. So it's very possible we could connect this up to a station or any other sort of ship that needs to dock with it. Coming down the side here, just look at the detailing we've got. We've got these large cargo containers along the top. We've got the cargo containers along the bottom. And this use of this piston head on here just creates a little bit more detailing, separating the block from the usual look. So over here we've got this little housing protecting these thrusters, two iron and two small hydrogen thrusters in that area. A little bit of a viewing room here from one of the various conference rooms around the ship. And as we come around the back, a little green LED lighting, and then we arrive at the thrust pack. So we've got a total of 7 large thrusters here, 3 either side, 1 in the center, and then we've got a nice ion power pack in the middle. So iron's always great in case you do run out of hydrogen or you've got a long stint before you can collect some more. So quite a nice little hybrid design. We've also got camera tucked in here just at the back. You can see there's 2 on either side, so you can reverse if you need to get into a large docking area. Now, having a look at the rear of the top deck, we've got the 2 ion thrust, Hyon's like a combination of both thrusters together. The Hyon thrust. No, the hydrogen thrusters, but maybe a Hyon thruster could be a future thing, a future project. And we've got welders and grinder pits up here on the top. Now, this whole top area is a completely separate, different project area connecting the 2 parts of the ship via catwalk. We've got the landing pads here at the front with merge blocks as well, and we've got the grinder and welder pits there. Now, coming underneath, you can see we haven't got any of that going on. We've just got more storage for hydrogen tanks and another docking port towards the rear there. But a really cool ship design from the exterior. Let's pop inside. Now, we're going to enter through the mouth of this ship. So as we go in through here, now this is not the way I'd recommend visitors to get into here, but you can see we've got all these grinders. Now there must be over, there's hundreds of grinders in here. If something makes it right to the end here, it's very lucky. to miss all the hitboxes of them ground. It's going to bounce off and catch on one point or the other. Now, moving ourselves into the various different corridors, something that I really like about the ship, a lot of the areas are labelled, so you can see the main stairwell and meeting room B. Now, these meeting rooms are the little ones I showed you before from the exterior, where you can just have a quiet four-man meeting, maybe about the salvage operations or what's going on in the world. But you can pop down here, and we've got various other airlocks that lead to the side hangars. So these side hangars are quite nicely detailed with these oxygen tanks above. Now, popping ourselves back inside here, we have access to a little launch window for launch control, of course, and then we'll continue through where we've got a basic medical facility. Very compact, and I appreciate a compact ship because sometimes there's ships with interior that's just not used, or it's just a blocking sort of wall. So there's the salvage operations area, what we've just been through. You can see the projector in the central table. It's not correctly aligned. Maybe I messed something up when I copied it in, but they've also got the computer screens above it reading various different statuses of where you are, or what not. So more little operations room where you can suit up and equip your gear. You can see another one there, little armorer's room where you could be dished out some equipment. But look at that, that is damn cool. Anyway, let's pop back into the corridor and we'll make our way to the main stairwell. So first we'll go down into the guts of the ship. So going down the stairwell, we're actually entering into deck 1. Of course, off to the side of deck 1 there is a little lounge area to keep all of your comfort during your salvage needs. So coming through here, we of course have got access to one of the engine rooms. So this is pretty much on the right, on the bottom of the ship. You can see these hydrogen tanks from the bottom. You can see they're cooking away with a mixture of both uranium and hydrogen engines. Now, hydrogen engines are pretty ineffective, but they certainly do look cool. And just look at this engine room without the light on there. Damn, that looks cool. A nice bit of lighting, nice bit of colour change between the blocks. Let's pop ourselves out of here. In fact, let's go down to one floor lower where we can look into more of the maintenance. We've got a bit of suit access. We've got some consoles where we can actually control the ship from. We'll pop ourselves back up there and back out of maintenance. So through the catwalk, you can see the lighting without my sort of spectator camera on is quite different. It's quite immersive. And that's what's amazing about Space Engineers, just how immersive and cool you can make these ships. If you do survive with them on a multiplayer server or take any chances like that, it's pretty much a very different experience. You realise that functionality of a ship is very important over looks. But as we head into deck 3, it's a little bit dark in here. But you can see that there is a turret defending the officers' quarters. So into the officers' quarters, we've got ourselves the airlock there. We've got these nice little cabins with a glass floor so they can see directly down into the hangar bay. Not too good if there's a breach in the hangar bay and you see the officer sleeping up above or he's panicking. We've got the info computers and we've got the power graphics, so all listed there so you know exactly what they do. Cool little server rooms to the side here. So as we come down into this section, we've got more maintenance access. Always really important. It's also good to get attackers lost in. If there's more tunnels and different things, it's like a backup reactor down in that section. So let's head back to the main stairwell if we can. So coming through here, past the officers' quarters, we've got the reactor and medical through here. So reactor top deck there. There's the large reactors on that side. And down into this, we have ourselves a little staircase. So you can see there's turrets defending this area in here. We've got more consoles to get ourselves interacted with. Really damn cool setup. I like that indeed. So popping down here, we're back onto the main staircase. Of course, we've got access to the suits. Is this the main staircase? I don't think this is. I think this is one of the side staircases that takes you down to the maintenance sort of areas. Yep, so we've got a little med bay, backup spawn bay in this area. Really cool indeed. Really nice interior. Let's actually just clip a little bit through the wall and have a quick look at the interior layout. So we've got the salvage operations there. We've been kind of staying in the rear area of the ship. It would be nice to see what's going on down the sides. So as we work our way through here, we've got various different little checkpoints as you navigate around the ship. More hallways going to these sections. Some statistics type layouts through this area. And this looks like they've got cells as well. Interesting. I wonder why they've got cells aboard a salvage ship. Maybe in case, you know, someone misbehaves aboard. I mean, I guess people who are going to be piloting these salvage vessels might not be, you know, the most legitimate businesses going. I mean, you know, scrap cells, whatever happens, but, you know. Right, so that is all of the ship right to the front. So let's hop ourselves in. You know, it'd be nice to test this out with some scrap, wouldn't it? Have we got any scrap in our inventories? That would be nice to have a rumble at. We've got ourselves a little tank here, one of Husker's. Let's see what happens when we put that in. Will it fit, first of all? Yeah, it will. So we'll put that there. Let's try to stop it first because we don't want it floating away without us. Yeah, we'll put a bit of an angle because no salvage is going to be coming in straight, is it really? So there we go. We've got a little tank there. We're going to go into the salvage cockpit. We're actually going to have a look for the main control seat, but we can access all the salvage stuff from here. That's pretty cool. So from this cockpit here, we have the grinders. Oh, ho, ho, ho. We have the grinder pit lights. Oh yes, that's immersive. And then we have the entrance. Oh, if you were a small ship and you were in there and you saw that open up, oh, you know your doom is coming. So we've took the long walk up the corridors to the bridge. We're accessing the chair, and we're going to attempt to pretty much drive this thing inside. So let's see exactly what happens to it. It looks like it's a little bit high. Oh god, are we in the gravity well here? Gravity, we may be falling a little bit. I'm just trying to work out what's going on. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we're trying to line that up. Okay, there it goes. It is in. Oh, we're pushing it as well. This isn't good. Is there any way that we can access the airlock doors perhaps from here? Oh, there we go. It's in now. It's in, but it is attempting to fly away. Look at that. Let's seal that up while we can. I'm trying to find the button on the console before the thing flies out the front. Which key is it? Maybe there should be a lock from the central control key. I know it's supposed to be accessed from down below. Let's try airlock doors. Airlock doors, blast doors, close. Oh, I was too bloody slow. It's flown out the front. We're going to be chasing our wreckage. So if your wreckage doesn't have any thrust, you're going to be in a challenge situation. Oh, there it goes again. Yeah, perfect. Let's maybe brake and turn to the side a little bit to lose some of the velocity. Uh-oh. Oh, no. What have we done? Okay, the thing's scrapping itself apart. Remember to seal the doors when you are grinding. There should be some disclaimers with this ship, but it does do a very good job of scrapping down smaller vessels, especially if you use the grinding drones, chop parts off and then insert it. I guess if you use the drones as well, you could kind of insert it into the middle without things coming off, or you could just chase down ships or smaller vessels. Oh yes, if you could get the speed on them and them smaller vessels and just eat them up alive like that. Oh yes. Oh, space engineers. I love it when people build crazy things like this. Anyway, there'll be a link down to this creation in the description below. Click on the link, check it out, support these creators, and I'd love to see more crazy salvage ships like this in the future with massive hulls of grinders. Anyway, let's thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time.